everybody, it's Wendy. Welcome. Today I have a really fun video for you. If you follow my blog, you know that I am in Utah right now at the Stampin' Up! Convention. This is the very last convention of its kind. Stampin' Up! Will be holding new types of live events, but I'm so excited to be in Utah, and I'm obviously recording this video before I leave, so I just know that I'm going to be excited to be there. I can tell you that. So I really wanted to share with something special with you today. I am going to be doing a Founders Circle swap. The Founders Circle are the top 100 demonstrators in the nation. And what we do is we get together once a year if we earn the trip, and we go to a resort and we have a really great time together. And we never know if we're going to earn that until Stampin' Up! Convention. So I'm recording this video before I know if I've earned it this year, but I've earned it the 2 previous years. So that's pretty awesome, and makes me feel really special and grateful and humbled to be among these amazing Stampin' Up! Demonstrators. So we decided this year at convention we would swap cards. And so what I have here to show you is going to be the cards that I swap at convention with the other Founders Circle members. However, it took me a little ways to get to the point of what card I was going to do. I knew for sure I wanted to do a shaker card. So this is my creative process. It started out with I really wanted to use a Christmas stamp set and do some sort of a night sky, and then do a shaker star for the star they were looking up to. But I really did not like how this turned out. I didn't like the watercolor sky being so much white in the background, and I realized after I started it that making 60 of these with a watercolor wash was going to be really difficult. So I kind of abandoned this idea, and I really did not like how this card turned out. So this was the first card I tried. Then I tried this card. I still wanted to do a shaker frame, so you could see my shakers here. I used the Summer Silhouette stamp set to stamp all these leaves on old olive cardstock, and then I cut the butterfly out and stamped on the clear stuff, what is this called, window sheet, and tried to make my butterfly, and then I did a happy birthday at the bottom. But I just wasn't happy with this card either. I just didn't like how it turned out. It just wasn't for me. So I went ahead and I moved on from this, and I came up with this idea. So I love clean and simple cards. It's actually the style that I'm most happy and comfortable doing. Sorry, I give you a little more light there. And so basically what happened is I knew that I wanted to do a shaker card. I knew I wanted some clean and simple look, but I didn't know what. So I came up with this, and I really liked this card, but it just wasn't quite what I was looking for. It was better than the rest of them, but still not totally happy with it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what I ended up coming up with that are my official swap cards. So my first, I'm going to make it for you here. The first step is to have a piece of 4 1/4 by 11-inch cardstock, solid color, whatever color you'd like. I used Real Red here, and actually for my swap cards I'm doing 10 in 6 different colors. So I'm doing Real Red, Pacific Point, Melon Mambo, Daffodil Delight, Tangerine Tango, and Old Olive. So this one I'm showing you is just the one that I picked to show on video. Alright, so then I have a piece of the thick Whisper White cardstock, and it's cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to use my Real Red ink, and I'm using the You're So Sweet stamp set from the new Stampin' Up! Catalog that was released in June. And I'm going to go ahead and use my star. But instead of stamping it down here, I'm stamping it up kind of towards the corner, but I don't want to be too close to the edge, and I'll show you why. Alright, so the next step is to cut out the middle of this star. So I have my Big Shot, and this stamp set coordinates with the mini treat bag framelets. So if you get the stamp set, it coordinates with this framelit set, so that you can make all kinds of really cute stuff. So I'm just going to line my star up in the center of where I've already stamped, and run it through. And if you notice that it says hello around the star, which is super cute. I just love that. And that's why, kind of why I wanted to use this stamp set. So now I have this beautiful outlined cutout, and it was really, really easy to do. So the next thing is I used our, gosh, I can't remember the name of these framelits. The word framelits. So I have hello, I have thanks, and I have you. And in order to save myself some time making my swap cards, different people got different sentiments. But all three of these will work. So it could say hello, thanks, hello, you, or hello, hello. So I already cut those out, obviously. So I'm going to show you how to assemble the shaker card. The first thing you need to do is turn your paper over. And I have a window sheet here that's cut at 2.5 by 2.5 inches. And I'm going to take some Tombow glue and just very lightly put it around all the edges of the star. You don't want to do too thick, because if you do, and when you push your window sheet down, your glue is going to seep out into your cutout, and you don't want that. I think actually that's exactly what I just did after I told you that. Yep. See? That's because I was talking about it. So I had to make 60 of these. So you can imagine it was a little time consuming, but it's worth it because I love the people that I am in Founder Circle with. They're wonderful people. They're all super talented and they all work really, really hard. And so if there's ever a time to spend more time on a card, I definitely feel like it is for this swap. So if you're unfamiliar with what a swap is when you get together and everybody makes one card, multiples of one card, and then everyone swaps cards. So you go home with 60 different cards than you came with. This is just a roll of adhesive. It's called wall mount adhesive. You can get it at your local hardware store. You could get it at Walmart. You can get it anywhere. And I use this for my shaker cards because I have to use so much of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down pieces of it all around this star. Now, the important part of this is that you have to make sure that your adhesive is touching each other. So everywhere, see where this butts up next to each other? Let me zoom in. Whoops, not out, in. Okay, so even though there's a gap right there, that's okay as long as this piece of adhesive butts up against the previous piece. So they all meet. And that's really important. Because otherwise your sequins or your glitter, whatever it is you're putting inside your shaker card, will just fall out. And you don't want that happening, trust me. And if you're putting glitter in, you have to be really, really careful about this. I mean, you've got to make sure. I'm allowing a little bit of leeway because the sequins I'm using are pretty big. So they're not going to fall out very easily. So all I've done is I've used this thick roll, and then I've cut it into threes. And it just makes it an easy way to trim down get more use out of your adhesive. Okay, so I don't care that it's crazy looking and off to the sides, because I'm actually going to cover this with a lot more adhesive now. So I'm going to go ahead and just chomp off big pieces of adhesive. And it doesn't matter what it looks like, because nobody's going to see this part of the card. I'll put one up here, and then one more in that top corner. You really want to make sure you get the corners, because you don't want your card sagging anywhere. It just doesn't look good when it does that. Okay, so now that I've got all that done, the next part that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add the sequins. These are our new bright sequins from the new catalog. And I'm just gonna take some and sprinkle them in here before I remove the adhesive backing. And kind of spread them around and get them a little flat. And then I can start removing this backing. You kind of got to be careful doing this because you don't want that to happen. You don't want your sequins to go up into your adhesive and get stuck. Okay, a couple more pieces here and we'll be set. Alright, so now I have a piece of 2.5 inch by 2.5 inch Whisper White cardstock that I'm just going to line up with my clear piece and lay down. And then I'm going to pull off the rest of my adhesive backing. And then the last step that's pretty important that you need to make sure that you do is to apply adhesive to the back of this, because you don't want that piece to not be stuck down to your cardstock. So I'm just applying some adhesive to the back of here. And then I have my card base, and I'm going to turn this over and just lay it down. Isn't that pretty? So now, I think it's pretty just like this, but now I want to add my word. So for this one, I think I'm just going to do the hello, and I will take my Tombow and I'm going to put very little adhesive and then kind of rub it around, because I don't want big blobs of glue pushing out around the sides, because that would be ugly. And I can't be having an ugly card to give to my partners in crime. So you can see this is a little time consuming, but it's the best part of the card, in my opinion. So I kind of overlap the top of the H over the star, and then just push it down. Hello, hello. And I love how it turns out. It's beautiful. So that is my Founders Circle swap card that I'm swapping at convention this year. Please check out my blog. Make sure that you subscribe to get my email newsletter. I hate the word newsletter because my emails really aren't newslettery. You actually get some fun free tutorials from me, and I try to provide a way to perk up your day when you get my emails. I only email about once a week unless there's something really important going on. So make sure you do that. Check out my blog. I have a special going on right now while I'm at convention, so make sure you check that out on my website. And make sure that you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.